Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Gibbs F1 here, and welcome to some Formula Xbox Season 8 pre-season testing highlights. And yes, as I mentioned, a brand new season, this one's Season 8, and we've only got one test race on this occasion, unlike ahead of Season 6 where we had a race at Silverstone and at Bahrain. So just one to get our eye on at the moment, and of course it is a brand new game for us, of course, F1 2017. With everyone, obviously F1's new regulations replicated, it means that all of us drivers have got to get used to something a little bit different on this new game. Unfortunately, as you'll see as I'm about to bang in my qualifying lap, my best lap of the session, this game seems to suit me better than the last one. If you remember back to a few months ago, when we competed in both Season 6 and Season 7 of Formula Xbox, I was utterly hopeless, didn't have a sniff of a podium for the entirety of those two seasons, and ultimately it was pretty disappointing. However, we could be on for better form in 2017, or on the 2017 game I should say, because as you can see, it is not a broken lobby. We have actually qualified in P4. I was as astonished as you probably are looking at that right now. So yeah, P4 in qualifying. Of course, a couple of guys behind us, Mel and Fred, both on the soft tyre. Obviously some time in their pockets, but ultimately P4 with a 1:28.3, only 7 tenths off a pole, is, well, very, very pleasing to see indeed. I mean, I got altitude sickness, quite frankly, being so high up the leaderboard. Didn't quite know what to do with that. But as we head over to the race now, we're hoping that we can hang on to at least that P4. And, well, can you imagine the scenes if we manage to get a podium in what is this test race? It may only be a test. There may not be championship points awarded for the results of it, but boy is it about pride. So as you can see now, we finished the formation lap, and we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, and now 5 red lights here at Silverstone. It's lights out, and away we go from P4. Height, Sam, Casey and me all charging towards turn 1, and an absolute field behind as me and Casey go just about side by side through turn 1, and Casey has got the measure of me there as we head into Village for the first time. I've taken an inside line partly to defend from Mel, who's looking around my outside. Now got the inside for the loop but can't quite stay there, and we managed to hang on to P4 for now. However, in qualifying we decided to go with a high downforce setting, which is going to bode well when the rain rolls in as it's expected to, but that does mean I'm an absolute brick on the straight, and Mel knows that. He's gone down the inside there, I've had to turn out of the corner, and Mel has got the job done, but runs wide at Luffield. We then go back down the inside of the Mercedes, get good traction out of the corner as well, but there we go. A graphic representation of just how much downforce they've got on and just how much that's going to hurt us in a straight line. Will be sensational through Copse, Maggots and Beckett's, the corners coming up, but certainly on the straights we are in big trouble until this rain hits, and we can hopefully put our downforce to good use. But there goes Mel exiting stage right, and we've picked up a place there as he nearly went off. We've gone off now and just about had to feather the throttle as we were on the grass there, and that is going to give Fred an opportunity. So we've been passed by one Mercedes and got the place back off that Mercedes, and then got passed by the other Mercedes in very short order indeed. So the result of that is back down to P5. We've only lost one place off the start, and given that was quite a hectic lap one, we will most certainly take that. So out front, Height, Sam and Casey have all got the jump, and it's Fred in P4, I'm P5, and Sinan on the soft tyre as well is in P6. He qualified in 12th, so he's had an absolutely sensational first lap and has pulled it all the way up the field, all the way to 6th. So a very solid effort from Sinan early doors here, and you'd imagine, given our respective pace last season, that he'll certainly be putting some pressure on me in very short order indeed. As we head into the heart of lap 2 now, we're once again going to see just how poor my straight line speed is, as we cannot close on Fred at all in the straight. He's pulling away. We've set a purple sector 1. I've got very excited when I was actually doing this race, and then of course realised that everyone's setting purple times because of course it is lap 2. So as we come out of club corner now, Fred has got that all wrong. Sparks coming off the curb there. We might have a little look up the inside as we head towards Abbey now. It's high speed, it's high stakes, and we have to settle in behind Fred for now. You've got to be very bold to try and make a move into Abbey, and ultimately in a test race it's not a move that I'm going to make into there any moment, and we'll settle back in the P5 for now. As you can see, that rain that was forecast, that rain that said was going to come at about half distance, has come a little bit sooner, lap 5, and it's already beginning to come down, and Fred is getting all out of shape at the exit of Luffield as a result of that. We're just about managing to all keep it on the black stuff for now, but ultimately that is going to get harder and harder, and it's now a case, of course, of when do you pit for inters. Now the crucial thing here is obviously, given that it's a new game, very few of us maybe have been in this position before. I certainly haven't been in this position before, so it's very difficult to know when to make that switch to the intermediate tyre. Me and Fred now are going to go side by side into Abbey. I'm on the outside. We bang wheels as we go through, both of us off the road. Sinan has got a box off his seat of this and makes the move on certainly me, and looks like he's going to make the move on Fred as well. No, those two bang wheels as well. Sinan's got the job done. Fred came back on the road. He came back on safely, but they just got a little bit too close as they rejoined. And as you can see there, it's all getting very claustrophobic on the exit of the loop. We've got DRS. We're not going to be able to do anything with it, and we're going to have to settle into P6 for now in this one, as Sinan and Fred have now got the jump on me and are ahead. Of course, we were in P5 just a few moments ago, so we haven't lost out massively, but it is still a position lost to Sinan for now. However, lap 8 is beginning to get a little bit wet, and so we are going to be heading for the pit lane very, very soon indeed. We stay out though for another lap, and the problem is these super softs are getting quite worn as well, which is making it very, very difficult indeed. And speaking of difficult, Sinan's having a few difficulties at Vale there. He's gone off the road, Fred has gone through, and that has mean, oh, and Fred's gone, I hit the curb at Club again, and has got a massive snap of oversteer. Now Sinan is going side by side with the Mercedes into Abbey, and they've both gone wide, compromised each other's lines. Fred is off again. Sinan, we're all over the back of him now as we head towards Village. Sinan's locked up. We've gone down the inside of the Ferrari, and that is P3 provisionally. Obviously, someone up ahead, I think it was Height, has made his pit stop for intermediate tyres already. He's the first to pull the trigger of the front runners, and so we're actually in provisional P3, on for a podium as it stands at the moment. But of course, Height, unless he's gone dramatically too soon, which I highly doubt, to be fair, given how wet it is, he will be retaking that place from us once the pit stops shuffle their way out. And as you can see now, we've got the position on Sinan for now at least, but with the conditions getting very, very treacherous, we run a little bit wide on the first part of Maggots. As we head through Chapel now, that has really, really compromised our line onto the straight, and given how bad our straight line speed is, that is certainly not good news. And here comes the Ferrari with a tremendous amount of slipstream and tow and DRS even, and he goes through on the outside as he heads towards Stowe. That's Sinan now back up into P3. We're in P4, however we're both going to dive into the pit lane now, along with what looks like most of the guys in our lead battle. Sinan did an excellent job there to get that stopped for the pits limiter line, so very, very decent effort from him there to get the speed off that Ferrari. So we head into the pits P4. Will we emerge P4? As it's going to be a battle of the pit crews here. Ferrari's in the box there, Williams out as well. We're going to be heading for our 22 Renault mechanics, who don't need to change the front wing for a change. I think I got through about 50 front wings in the space of about 16 races in Season 6, so we've at least started this one better. So of course everyone has gone on to the intermediate tyres, as you would expect. 5 of us in the pit lane, 5 of us in the pit lane, all in exactly the same positions in which we came in. So Mel is now behind us in P6. Obviously Fred, actually after we went off the road at turn 1, when all those shenanigans happened on about lap 8, Fred did retire from the race. I believe he was having a few lag issues and didn't want to be causing any disruption in this one. And so ultimately he has left the fray now. And so we are not going to have to deal with him for the rest of this race, because we were getting pretty close at some moments there, and he certainly did have a lot of pace, and I was very, very stretched trying to keep up with him. So that's one headache we do have to consider for the remaining 16 laps. We have, of course, lost a little bit of ground to Sinan during that pit stop phase, and just to show you how wet it is, all out of shape for Abbey, and then we head into farm, and we nearly lose it again. I'm going rally style through turn 1 and 2, so that downforce that I put on is helping me out to a degree, but it's still, as you can see, not making me infallible to a little bit of oversteer every now and again. And so we've got to watch out for that, because that could easily spit us off the road if we get it wrong at any moment, or just push the envelope a little too far. As Sinan goes wide at Vale again, he's having trouble on the brakes into that particular corner, and that has at least enabled us to gain a little bit of ground on the Ferrari heading on to lap 14. And so we're challenging for P4, not quite close enough to make a move as yet, but we are certainly getting closer as we get another snap of oversteer through farm, just about catch it in the end. That was a bigger moment than the one we had just a couple of laps previous, and so that was a much more difficult one to scoop up. But we did just about manage to catch it, and Sinan was just wrong-footed by Prototype Budgie there, who has lagged out and was being lapped. And so we've gained a little bit more time on the Ferrari. We're just edging closer, corner by corner, and Sinan just making a couple of mistakes as well, which have just given us an opportunity to close in every now and again as well. Holding station for now though in P4 and 5. Height, of course, didn't lose out that much time when he made his early pit stop, as he has of course come out in front of us again as well, and it's still Height, Sam and Casey battling out for this race win. Sinan, myself and Mel just a few seconds back from that lead battle. And so, as you see, Sinan now goes wide through Abbey. That's going to compromise his run through Farm as well. We've got a tremendous run, but we've got a big bit of oversteer. Not as big as Sinan's, though, as he exits stage left. And that is us now up into P4. We have a little bit of a moment to scoop up ourselves at Village. We just about manage it and just about manage to retain the place on the Ferrari. But that is probably going to mean we're going to have to go quite defensive now down the Wellington straight into Brooklands. And it's not going to help with that Ferrari lagging all over the show. And so heading into Brooklands now, I don't want to go too defensive because I don't really know where Sinan is at this moment. We have a little bit of oversteers. I'm trying to leave him room at the apex, and we just about make it through. It seems the lag settled as well, and it seems that Sinan's got a bit of a run on us now, coming out of Luffield. And with our straight line speed at a deficit as it is, this is going to put us in big trouble as we head towards Cops. And look, Sinan's got the job done already before we even make it to the apex. So that's now Sinan back into P4 after his mistake earlier on in this lap. Will we have a look into Maggots and Beckett's? No, because I'm absolutely not that brave. So we're going to settle into P5 for now. We're going to try and stay as close to the rear wing of that Ferrari as we can to try and do something, anything on this straight, even with a tow, even with a slipstream. I doubt we're going to be able to close them. And look at that. That is the difference of when you're running 9-8 wings compared to somebody that's probably running 5 or 6 or 3 or 4 maybe. So ultimately that has left us very much compromised. But as Sinan continues on, we are going to head to pit lane for our second set of intermediate tyres of the day. Pit window was in a couple of laps from now, but given that we just lost out of that place to Sinan and dropped back behind him again, I thought it was a good opportunity to pit, get a new set of inters on and try and pull off an undercut. It's going to be tricky, knowing Sinan's pace, and if he eliminates those mistakes that he made, then he's certainly going to have the measure of us, I'd imagine, but it's at least worth a try. As you can see, lap 19 now, that dot you see in the bottom left of your screen just emerging from the pit lane is the Ferrari, so we have not got the undercut on him. In fact, we've lost a bit of time. I did have a couple of excursion moments, shall we say, where the oversteer just caught me out, and ultimately that has cost us in the final assessment. It only cost us maybe 2 seconds or so, but we would have been much closer to the Ferrari had I not gone and thrown it into the scenery on occasion. And so lap 26 of 26, and nothing much happened in that final stint. We lost a bit of ground to Sinan. We really did settle for P5 in the end of the massive air gap back to Sam Ham. And so after this, the end of this test race, we're looking much better than we have done in the past 2 previous seasons, put it that way. Maybe not on the form that we had in season 1 and season 2 way back when, but we're certainly we're in better shape than we were for season 6 and 7. So I'm pretty optimistic heading into this new season. I'm sure now I've said that, I have put the jinx on that one, and I'm probably going to have an absolute mare once again, but we'll have to wait and see. It's looking better at the moment. And as you can see, Sam was the man who took out the win here. Height actually crossed the line first place, but he was demoted after post-race penalties behind both Sam and Casey. So it's Sam, Casey and then Height on your podium there. Some nice graphics and animations on this game as well that are included at the end of a multiplayer session. That all helps with the immersion, of course. Cody's, you've done a great job on that one. So that has been the Formula Xbox Season 8 pre-season test race. And well, we're looking, like I said, better shape than we did in the previous 2 seasons. And so in our Renault, can we repeat the heroics that we pulled off in Season 1 where we bagged 4 victories in Season 1, 3 in Season 2, my last win coming 4 years ago. Well, a win might be optimistic, a podium might even be optimistic, but at least it looks looking a bit less optimistic than it did a few months ago. Please leave your thoughts in the comment section below as to what you're looking forward to in Season 8 of Formula Xbox. And until next time, folks, thank you ever so much for watching, and goodbye.